the theme. So if that means anything looking ahead, I hope we didn't burn them out yet. All good. And then just announcement that our next exhibition opens October 18th with shifting topographies, extracting the landscape. So feel free to come and join. You're welcome to always come an hour early if the members preview a special guest. You can just show up and we'd be happy to have you. Thanks.
Commissioner Lori Pappas for New Media Relations. Hey, you had mentioned that you're seeing new faces.
Yeah.
What, are you able to get a pulse on locals versus visitors?
Yes, we do ask that when people come to the gallery. I'm not the front desk person, so I can't accurately summarize it, but I could get back to you with specifics. But this time of year, it's fewer tourists and more locals. We get more school groups in and things. So I'm assuming that they are more locals, given that it's past Labor Day. Yeah, if I find out otherwise, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'd like to get into the weeds a little bit every now and again.
Yeah. Exactly. Or if people are coming through town on the way to someplace else, we capture that. So that's
Great.
Great.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. I'd like to recognize Commissioner Michael Marquez has joined us. Hello, you look so dapper online, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're doing local check-ins. Now it's, yes, I can go. Commissioner Hamlin.
So we have, this year we're celebrating 30 years of working with our Indigenous communities surrounding Flagstaff. So we're celebrating with 30 years of NAMP on November 16th, which is also 1 year since the ADC was opened. And we'll be working really closely with dignitaries. We'll have special performances and dances, but most to note, it is free to all Coconino County, Yavapai County, to include Sedona, and anyone of Arizona Native Nations. So anyone can come up for free. It's sponsored by Finley. And it's a lot to celebrate all in one day. So we're going to do it really big.
Thank you. How about commissioners online? Do you have any local check-in?
Well, I can speak for us. We had the founders toast today. We will be celebrating 14 years of Mother Road in November. So we were brewing the anniversary ale today and hosted quite a good crowd of shareholders and crew. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Congratulations. Anything else? Okay, Jennifer, Commissioner Grogan, do you have any check-in update?
Just real quick. Next weekend is the 16th annual Flagstaff Oktoberfest in Wheeler Park. Hope to see everybody out there. And yeah, I think that's it.
I would say Prost. Yeah, and then do we have Commissioner Amy Dawson?
He's not on.
Oh, he's not on call. Yes, and on my end, our Northern Arizona Lodging, Tourism and Restaurant Association, in partnership with AHOA, the Asian American Hotel Owners Association, is conducting its town hall. We have moved the date. I remember announcing it as October 15. Now it's October 22, 3 to 5:30 at Holiday Inn Express. And seats are limited, so we encourage attendees to register online to make sure they get their seats reserved. And I have the information available, and I will also send it to Miss Carrie here if you wish to have the information as well. Moving on, how about Councilmember Aslan? Do we have any update for us or local check-in?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I don't have much to say for checking in, except that I'm heading your way and I should be there in person before everything's over. And I'm not sure I heard anyone mention this, so I thought I'd throw it out there. Don't forget, this weekend is Dark Sky Fun at Buffalo Park. And I don't know if someone's there with more details on all the things that are going on for that. Of course, it's the Festival of Science going on right now too. So if the sky clears up tomorrow, Saturday, be sure to head out there and check that out.
Actually provide some more details on that. Thanks. Yeah, so today is actually Festival of Science Day at CCA, so we're hosting events all day, but there's events all over town, of course, through the weekend. But the Star Party is 6 to 10 p.m. tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night at Buffalo.
Thank you so much, Commissioner, and happy birthday, Council Member Aslan.
Happy birthday to you too.
Yeah, we're birthday twins.
Thank you for that. Hope you're not feeling too old. I'm getting surgery for my birthday.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll see you soon, Council Member. Okay,
score
so public
on-
participation, do we have any members of the public online, in person?
No.
Okay. Let's move on to approval of minutes. Get the chance to review the minutes from the August 28th meeting. Can I
This
have
is
a,
Michael Marquis. I move to approve the minutes.
thank you, Commissioner. Any second? Thank you, Commissioner Omnick. So the motion has been made by Commissioner Marquez to approve the minutes and seconded by Commissioner Omnick. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Let's move to the happy part. Reports, attraction reports by Ms. Heather. Thank you for joining us in person.
I know, it's so strange. I'm not just a floating head. I'm in town until the 2nd, just for work. So it's really awesome to be here in person. I don't think I've been in person in years, so probably pre-pandemic. So it's really awesome to see you all in and not through a screen. So again, my name is Heather Craig. I'm the Marketing Operations Coordinator at Lowell Observatory, and this is your September report. Thank you. So we've moved from snow to precipitation. August was, our monsoon season here was significantly less than what we've seen in the past years. September, we saw it come in a little bit later from what I heard on NPR. So significantly less rain. Next, please. And so here we have the total monthly visitation of all of the different locations, not including Grand Canyon National Park. And this is the first month this year that we are actually in the green over 2024. Which is awesome. And so it's really, really great to see it's 1.8% over what we saw in 2024. Next one, please. And then here is the Grand Canyon total monthly visitation. They were actually down quite a bit in August. And this is all entrances. And so I did add a few new slides to this. Because it was brought to my attention that the report that I was getting from the Grand Canyon included all of their entrances. And so then I went ahead and broke it down to just the south entrance only, if that's something you guys would rather see, because instead of the north entrance and south entrance and the other. But this primarily reflects the south entrance, but this number is all of those entrances, and then I have added the information with just the south entrance, if that is what you guys would prefer to see. Yeah, so this next slide is all of our visitation. You guys have seen this one before. All of our visitation, including Grand Canyon, together. Then the next slide is where we break it up. And so it's different colors. It does look quite a bit less because it's using the same scale as the last graphs. But this is the Grand Canyon monthly visitation 2024, 2025, just the South Rim. So instead of a 19% decrease, it is a 11% decrease. So it's just the South Rim numbers. And then the next slide is all of the monthly visitation with the South Rim only, and not all of the different locations. And so instead of a 15% decrease year over year, it's only 11%. So I would love feedback on if you guys just want to see the South Rim, if you guys want these graphs included, because I believe the South Rim is just the primary visitation that affects Flagstaff. So I can include these. I don't have to. It was just brought to my attention.
Anybody who'd like to go first?
Yeah, well, for me, it's just looking at Grand Canyon visitation, kind of like holistically, of course, it has been traditionally all North Rim, South Rim. I don't know the third one. Are you also counting the west?
Yeah, so it's just the report from the national parks.
Through the Beach Springs?
Mhm.
No, we don't.
No, it's not
If
in
I
our.
can, I don't think that would be included in her report because it's not part of the National Park Service.
Okay.
Drive. So
There you
if
go.
she says south entrance, it's the south entrance by Tusayan and the east entrance by Desert View.
Oh, Desert View,
So
Monticello,
those
yeah,
are
okay,
the
yeah.
entrance that are 90-minute walks.
Beach
Springs isn't included on any
Okay.
of the slides.
South entrance, Desert View entrance,
Desert
North
View.
Rim,
Okay.
and the 2 week.
Yeah.
Entrance is what's on the report,
Yeah.
reported from the national parks. And
Okay.
so, that's what's included in the grand number that I've been reporting. And then I just took the south entrance out just as a comparison, because it was brought to my attention. So I just did it. It took me like 5 seconds, so it really wasn't difficult. But in case we wanted to see just the south entrance compared to our visitation.
Well, I think with the Bravo fire, it was really interesting to see that.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And of course, with, and traditionally, the North Rim entrance will be closed like end of October, right? So, and now, what's the
Yeah.
status now? It's still officially closed, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, 2024, the north entrance was December to April 2025 was the closure.
Lori Pappas, Marketing Media Relations, jumping in. It would be, my thought to be holistic.
Okay.
Because it's really giving us a pulse on the visitor economy as a whole, as opposed to just a location.
Yeah, and I think it was primarily with the north, with the fire.
Yeah.
Was the main entrance, I believe. But yeah, I have no problem changing that. I just wanted to bring it up just in case people were interested in just South Rim.
Yeah, and really, really appreciate you anticipating. That's great. And it's nice to see that view. But I think as far as looking forward, having a total compilation is.
Yeah, and the original slides didn't change from the total compilation. So just the pink and purple is the South Rim split out,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
And I'd just like to add, Meg with Global Sales Manager. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, I agree. The holistic approach is best. Also, if we ever need follow-up, you're usually available to say, yeah, here are just these numbers, and you can generate those reports. And you've done that for me in the past, so keep it up.
They already have them in a chart broken out, so I can just keep doing that. And then it's just there.
Yeah. So,
Speaking of Grand Canyon, though, and this was brought out by, and again, now I'm wearing the hat of the association, the Northern Arizona Legends Association. Like, first of all, kudos to Discover Flagstaff in partnership with AOT in pushing that message about South Rim is open. You can visit the Grand Canyon through Flagstaff and that South Rim entrance. Can we capture your report covers like park entrance, right? Vehicles. Is there a way to capture like the air tours?
If it's,
And these usually are done by like private helicopters.
yeah, so I would
planes.
have to get in contact with the private helicopter companies, kind of the way I do with all of our local
Yeah.
attractions. Because all of the national park data that I get, is submitted on the national park website. So if anybody has contacts for them, I would be happy to ask them if they want to give me their numbers.
Okay.
But I can get from the national parks, car, train. And what's that one? Hold on. No, because I'm not connected to the internet. But whatever the national park breaks it out into, but it's primarily cars and trains.
So that be primarily Papillon helicopters tours, is that what you're thinking?
Mhm.
Yeah, and I don't know if they break it down by visitor or because they may buy an
Flights.
all-encompassing visitation pass for the year, an animal
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's worth the ask, and I'm sure we can get you a contact for Papillon.
Yeah, and
And
I'm
so-
always happy to reach out,
Yes.
because I just, at this point, all the local attractions just email me on the first.
Yeah, and of course,
visitation,
and
so.
of course, those tours also usually come from like, from Sedona, from Utah, from other places. But if there's any way to capture the numbers, and if there's any way to capture them and encourage them to stay in Flagstaff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always happy to ask if people are willing to give me their numbers. Some people are less willing, Arizona.
I'm sure we can get a contact because they advertise, or they're listed in our visitor guide,
Okay.
and as well as, one of our partners, so.
I think I met her.
And I think they,
At IPW.
right,
Yeah.
at IPW, so we can certainly reach out. I'll email you and get you.
Thanks.
I'm sending it right now.
Oh, that's great.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm happy to reach out, to anybody that you guys want numbers from. And yeah, I'll keep it all encompassing but I'll have the breakdown of numbers if anybody is interested in them, so. Cool, next, please. Cool, so upcoming events, Lowell has our World Revealed Speaker Series, which is our consistent series that is going on, as well as Cody mentioned, our 30 years of NAOP celebration on the 16th, which is also the ADC 1-year anniversary. Arizona Snow Bowl, they have some really awesome fall things going on, yoga on the mountain, elevated embers, and ales is their gondola dinner that is on the 28th. So it's definitely a one-of-a-kind experience. Flagstaff Extreme, welcoming back students. It's a really great time to get out there as long as it's not thundering and lightning. Meteor Crater, again, they also have their Neighbor Appreciation Day. That's a free day on September 27th, as well as their Indigenous Peoples Day on October 11th. Museum of Northern Arizona has their Science Day and Open House, which is the free day on September 27th. And their Spooky Science and Freaky Finds on October 11th. I'm so excited for Halloween season. And then the Arboretum in Flagstaff, the Raptor Education and Ales at the Arb, October 12th, and then on the 15th. So really great, amazing fall events coming up for all of our partners.
The Commissioner Grogan mentioned that Satchmo's, I guess, and Route 66 character is part of the gondola dinner. Yeah, that's awesome partnership work with. Well, thank you, Heather. Do we have any question from the commissioners online?
Glad to not be a floating head today. Thanks, guys. Thank you. And then one more, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to director and staff reports. So who do I pass the mic to?
First. I'll pull the presentation up.
Commissioners, I do want to recognize, as our Vice Chair did, that Trace Ward is out of office, but the team is well poised to take
presentation.
Well, I will kick off the presentations with international travel trade. It's been a while since I formally presented to our wonderful Tourism Commission. So you may have already heard some of this information, but here it is formally presented. And it's Meg Rodeberg, Global Sales Manager. And next slide, please. So first off, we did have IPW. I know you guys have heard this, that we had about 80 scheduled appointments. They were all fantastic. And we had follow-up continues. In fact, we're registering for the next IPW 2026. It will be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and that registration will open in October. We will do a double booth. It may look a little different from what we have done in the previous years. So more details to be presented at a later date. As you know, that's our largest travel and tourism trade show, and it does have the media marketplace component as well as the trade booth. In addition to the trade shows, we had a Brand USA, Great USA road trip, and I can't be there every time, so I work with a company called Linked, and they are also the representatives for the Arizona Office of Tourism. And this was in Australia. It was in Adelaide and on the Gold Coast. So what I do is I work with their representative over there, and they present with a table, and they have all of our collateral. They talk about Flagstaff. They're absolutely outstanding. In that picture there, you see one of our representatives, Millie, who's been to Flagstaff a couple of times, and so she's highly familiar with our product. It was very successful. That was in July, and we did do a prize, which our prizes usually include a overnight 2-night stay, hosted by Discover Flagstaff, as well as some attractions and activities to enjoy while they're here so that they can sell that product to their teams in Australia. They've already reached out, so I'm working on the logistics there for those winners. And then we'll have more opportunities with Brand USA in Australia. And again, I won't be able to attend personally, but I'll have the Linked representatives there for us, and that will be in February of 2026. There's about 150 travel trade and media attendees, and it was a great opportunity for them to learn about Flagstaff, as some of them had not known about Flagstaff, Arizona, and especially Flagstaff being in the mountains and not in the desert. So it's a lot of education, inspiration, and sales to generate visitation to our area. Next slide. Fan tours included Arizona Office of Tourism, Discover Flagstaff, Der Touristik. This is a German operator. We had 12 agents and a German representative that joined us, as well as the operators went into Las Vegas, and then they came to Arizona. They visited Kingman, Williams, Page, and Flagstaff. They stayed at the Aiden Best Western. I love the image that they took there at our wonderful visitor center. And they did this drone shot above our badge, and that went all over to their trade representatives there in Germany. They had amazing feedback. I'll just read a little excerpt from Simone Krickel, who is our representative there in Germany. And Simone is also very familiar with Flagstaff. She met her husband at Northern Arizona University. So she represents Flagstaff extremely well in the German market. And her clients that attended on this FAM tour expressed and said, it was the first time in Arizona for most of the participants, and the group really appreciated their stay and everything they were able to see. First of all, they could experience that immigration is as quick as and easy, so they had no problems there. And even more, Arizona's diversity and beautiful natural wonders convinced them all to sell multi-day stays in Arizona, and especially Flagstaff, with a day at the Grand Canyon and a day in Flagstaff. And they had great conversations. And Der Touristik is the Germany's second largest tour operator. And it was a great partner for this FAM, and it was, and they will be back. So we continue to work with tourism touristique as well. We also hosted the AOT Brand USA United Airlines FAM 5 agents, Brand USA Australia rep, and we had a full itinerary with their stay, and they came in middle of June, I believe, and we went all over. I used Grand Canyon Adventure Tours, that is a great partner, and took the group, as you see, to the Grand Canyon, and actually used the entrance over by Cameron, the Desert Watchtower entrance. So that visitation is important to capture. Just regrouping on that topic. Again, they had an excellent time to sell our product in Australia, and the feedback there was excellent. All the properties, they said, quote, all the properties were fantastic, and their favorite stay was in Flagstaff. Quote, Flagstaff was a true standout of the trip, offering a rich mix of natural beauty, cultural depth, and stargazing magic, all with a relaxed small town feel. I would also want, and Commissioner Marquez from Mother Road, they did make a quote about their experience at Mother Road, if you remember meeting this group. They said, I would wholeheartedly recommend multi-state itineraries. Had we confined ourselves to the gateway cities, we would have missed the opportunity to share a beer with a brewery owner in Flagstaff. And they just loved meeting you and enjoyed all the brews that you were able to share. So your partnerships are extremely valuable when you do these FAMs. Next slide, please. And then marketing has been really busy. Visit USA committees continue to get their e-newsletters publishing on Flagstaff, and they picked up Flagstaff in their newsletters with our dark skies and astrotourism, and as well as our Route 66. So you see the headline there on their little FBW Academy, which is the next bullet I'm going to talk about. That is in German. I know Ralph may know what it translates to, but it translates to classic and insider tips, and they used our Galaxy Diner image, which was fantastic.
Super cool.
Isn't that awesome?
Really cool.
So the VFW Academy, on that second bullet point there, that academy is a campaign that actually concluded in May. It started May of 2024. It was a year-long program. It's an education to train tour operators and travel advisors in Germany about Flagstaff and the Arizona product. So there are 228 Flagstaff certificates issued, and 1,200 of those were of Arizona in total. And so it was an outstanding campaign. The course program had travel experts engaged with Arizona content. They had over 21,000 individual web pages that they reviewed wholeheartedly with the program. And as I mentioned, issued more than 1,200 Arizona certificates and 228 certificates. Other marketing includes Wanderlust. Wanderlust is UK's leading travel magazine, and they actually did an e-newsletter issue and highlighted our Route 66 Centennial. A full page ad has just been released, fresh off the presses, and it is also a full page ad in their magazine, both printed and digital. And that is on their Wanderlust North American special issue. And that will, I can forward out the link to you all, or report on it next time I'm here. But it is a beautiful advertisement and a great publication. As we reach the UK, they have over 13 million online readers every year with that publication. Next slide. All right, the Brand USA Global Inspirations Program and the Brand USA 2025 Optimize Australia campaign. Both of those campaigns have concluded. So you can see the dates up there for Brand USA Global Inspirations Program. And this is more inspiration, of course, in the markets for from May 1st, 2024 through May 30th, 2025. And then it's a 3-month social campaign as well, and that is July 17th through 2024 through September 14th. They report out this August, so that's why you're hearing about the reporting optics now. So on the first program, the campaign has 150,000 in print. It's distributed in Australia, Benelux, Brazil, Canada, France, Germany, India, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Latin America, et cetera, et cetera. So it goes all over the world. The digital component is promoted globally as well. And the results exceeded for the social media campaign on Brand USA. We had an estimated 4 million impressions were the expected impressions, but it actually had over 13 million impressions. So it exceeded that quite a bit. So the impression over delivery was over 242%. So that's a wow there. That's great. And then also on the destination clicks with the social media campaign, that had a click-through rate of 0.04%, which is double the benchmark. Again, amazing. So Brand USA is an excellent partner, and we will continue to partner with them. On the Optimized Australia and you can see on the left of the screen, we have some examples of the creative. For the first two, which is the Inspirations program. The next two slides, next two images are for the Australian campaign on their creative. So with those campaign results, we had a 47-day campaign. Again, they were expecting about 2 million impressions, and they got 2.7 million impressions. So again, over the expectation. The clicks were also over the industry benchmark of 0.07%. Industry benchmark is 0.2%. Again, very strong. The advertisement that you see there, the digital advertisement, was 30% over the estimate. It estimated at 5 million impressions. They got 6.7 million impressions. So we are making a very great impact marketing wise and converting hopefully to bookings in the Australian market. Now, speaking of bookings, this campaign partnered with Expedia. So during that campaign period, they track the actual bookings. So there were 36 Expedia room nights booked during that period of the campaign. Now I'll get a new bookings report that will show the overflow of the campaign, and that report will come out at the end of September. So again, marketing is attributed directly to bookings that I can track through these Brand USA programs. So it's great results.
Is the point, sorry, this is Cody Halfmoon. Is this specifically to like an email campaign for that industry benchmark of 0.2? Is that right?
So the benchmark for this campaign was 0.02%, and that's the industry benchmark. So
for newsletter clicks?
No, for this Brand USA Optimized Australia campaign.
For their,
yes,
I understand.
So, and they got a 0.07%, which was over the benchmark that they had expressed. Any other questions? All right, next slide. So you're going to see this information at the November annual. So I'm giving you a sneak peek. So the mid-year bookings that have been reported from these particular travel companies, as you can see, it's great information. Booking nights are happening. Get to my notes here. So that mid-year report, that is about 4,200 rooms, and just from these agents. And I track these agents because these are the agents that tour operators or TOs and receptive tour operators, RTOs, that we've met with. Like when we go to IPW, we've met with WebBeds, we've met with Titan Travel, we've met with TFN or Travel Funders Network. And so taking the TFN, they have had just this mid-year 1,628 bookings so far, and that's with Chelsea Kokenauer, who we meet with. And I said, Chelsea, wow, that's like double what it was than the first quarter. She's like, I know. She she said some very kind words like, thank you for all your help, because I helped her with site tours and getting these set up. So we are making a difference when we go to these travel trade conferences and we meet with these tour operators. And then for FY25 results, again, you'll see these at the November annual, but you can see that we had some great results for FY25 and 11 FAMs, 5,000 reported booking nights, 25 million marketing reach, and it's just 1.2 million consumer exposures. So that is great to report to you guys. Next slide. So looking ahead, you can see the travel schedule there that I have coming up the next through May of next year. It is subject to change, but that gives you an idea of the places that we're going to. Brand USA Travel Week in London's coming up in October. National Tour Association, the NTA Treks in Canada, American Bus Association, and that's primarily domestic, but they do have some international overflow, and that's going to be your tour buses and those types of tour operators. A sales mission and Go West, and then IPW. So it's a packed calendar looking ahead. And that's the last slide I have, but I do want to talk about a couple other things before I turn it over to Jessica. One is the America 250 that you've heard of. We have the Route 66 Centennial, but we've also got America 250. And I don't know if Ralph can pull up, but we have created our own logo for the America 250 campaign. The Arizona America 250 campaign is very desertscape, let's say. So we've created our own. So you should be seeing this logo in any upcoming promotions that we do. We have a social media post coming out shortly that is about the nominations for the America 250 Passport Program, which is similar to our Trails Passport Program on the platform for Bandawango, and working with the Arizona Office of Tourism. We will put out a post to encourage nominations being accepted till October 1st. So get those nominations in. And we do know that Lowell is already on the passport list, as well as Arizona Snowball Resort. We have 17 representatives from Coconino County. So I'm trying to get a more detailed list about all those that are on the Coconino County list, but I know at least there's 2 or 3 from Flagstaff, and we want more. So get your nominations in. I'm happy to send out a link if you do not see the social media post coming up. I am on the Arizona America 250 Commission for Travel and Tourism Subcommittee, so there's a lot happening there. We have a Liberty Bell replica that will be coming in 2026 as well, traveling around the state, and it will come to Flagstaff as well, but we got to get our application in. They haven't released the application process yet. It's coming. So look for some exciting opportunities that will also boost visitation with our Route 66 and Centennial and the America 250 campaign. I think 2026, we've got a banner year ahead of us, and it's exciting. If you guys want to talk more about the international arena in regard to USTA and Brand USA, if you have any questions that may come up, please let me know. I have been to quite a few webinars and meetings on that topics, everything from the visa fees that we know are going to increase. However, as of today, as of my morning meeting, they are delayed. So if it goes through, we will be one of the highest in the world for visas for people traveling here. So Brand USA, USTA, United States Travel Association, are all working to get that delayed or decreased. It has not gone into effect yet. And then there also, Brand USA has received some funding cuts. Again, they are working, and it looks like the administration has restored funding for FY26 and FY27 for Brand USA. So good news on that front. In regard to the national parks that Heather talked about, And Grand Canyon visitation, nationally, national parks are down about 1.5%. So we are down and we have reasons for that. With our Grand Canyon National Park, with the international travel being down, as well as the Dragon Bravo fire affecting our visitation. So, again, if you have questions on international, yes.
So thank you, thank you. So I will just echo Commissioner Marquez's questions. And actually the association also has similar questions. How much of our overall 2025 down visitor attraction trends are attributed to diminished international travel presently? And followed by another question, are AOT or Discover Flagstaff in touch with our congressional and Senate delegations on the matter?
So in regard to 2025 visitor attraction trends and international, 15% for our area is what Trace and I have determined. We do anticipate that international visitation will of course come back. But as of right now, we are about 15% down in our visitation. And then the second, does that answer your question, Commissioner Marquez?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. And then the second part was AOT or Discover Flagstaff in touch with our congressional and Senate delegations on this matter. So that's a good question. I will say we are not a political arm here at Discover Flagstaff. And so we don't have, like, we don't write letters directly from Discover Flagstaff to the administration. We do have representation like through USTA, Brand USA, Arizona Office of Tourism that will, of course, encourage congressional tourism impacts on our behalf. So again, we're not a direct political arm at Discover Flagstaff, but we do get our information pushed out through our membership organizations and other entities.
Thank you for that clarification. I do want to mention though, as a tourism commission, if that's something that we want to do as a commission and encourage our city leadership to raise our voices to support our industry, not only in Flagstaff, but throughout the region and throughout the state, it's something we can do as a commission. We can write a letter to mayor and council and put this in their priority as the legislative priority.
Is that something we can vote on?
Yeah, we can. Because I remember when I was on council and we were doing priorities, and of course, I was the council liaison to the tourism commission. We made it to prioritize promoting and securing funding for tourism and for promoting not only Flagstaff, but the region as a year-round destination. And it was actually put forth as a legislative priority to the council for state and federal priority.
Could I move to get the tourism commission to?
We can put that on the next agenda
That
and
would
make
be
it an
fantastic.
action item.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Commissioner Comnic. Yeah, I'd be interested in more information and further conversation.
Definitely. So
Yeah.
Thank you for that
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, you can put it forward for as a future agenda item for action.
And you guys do have a voice whenever you're like approving our budgets and going through that process, and working with our director, Trace Ward. You guys, your voices are always put forward in that manner. I am working on a potential meeting with, and I don't have my notes in front of me, so more details to come, on a town hall with one of the Arizona senators regarding tourism. I have had interest by, and Councilmember Aslan may be familiar with this because we did put out a call to the city council to see level of interest And so there has been a level of interest to proceed on any of the logistics regarding that meeting. So as those logistics come up, it would be, well, it would be a good fit for those that can actively advocate on that political arena. So.
And again, to plus, I'm also in touch with, with our association and then in partnership with the Asian American Hotel Owners Association, and we see how they kind of collaborate and raise our voices to prioritize our sector as well. Yeah, and I asked Meg this question at last Friday's coffee clutch, because the
Yeah.
visa concerns, the increasing potentially, unless it's delayed or reduced. And then also, and then one thing on our forefront too here, that the Department of Labor recently adopted the Project Firewall. If you heard about that, it's about maximum compliance of the H-1B program visa. See if this has any impact to our industry. This has just been on a couple of days ago. The U.S. Department of Labor launches Project Firewall to protect America's high-skilled workforce, but is calling for maximum compliance of H-1B program visa. And the Secretary of Labor actually leading the enforcement of it. See. Yeah. Oh, let's kind of move, looking ahead. I know Starlock is introducing its direct flight from Phoenix to Taiwan in January.
January 12th is
There you
when
go.
that will go in. It'll be 3 to 4 times a week. And there is really a lot of strength behind this. The Arizona Office of Tourism is really working hard to promote this. And we will have representation in Taiwan also to support the new flights. The vendor of our representation has not been selected yet, but they're going through RFPs now to see who will represent us in or the state of Arizona, which of course, Flagstaff will be represented in their campaigning for the social media, the print media, the influencers, all of the travel trade, tour operators, travel advisors. It'll be an all-encompassing campaign with those Taiwanese reps to not just promote Starlux, but to promote the state of Arizona. And Taiwan is a demographic that is highly interested in the state of Arizona. Right now, the lion's share of Taiwanese visitation is in California, Hawaii, and New York, and I want to say Texas. So we are well positioned to take some of that market share, and the Starlux flight will definitely make an impact.
Just wishing here, daydreaming. I wish they could also extend like a flight to Flagstaff, right?
For us, that would be
Yeah.
nice, yeah.
And that's all driven by TSMC or Taiwan Semiconductor company that's setting up shop in Phoenix. Yeah. Anyway,
So that's exciting news,
Yes.
yeah. So in regard to flights, we still have the Paris, Phoenix direct flight, and as well as the direct flight to Heathrow. So, and then we'll add the Taiwanese flight, and then we have the Aero Mexico direct flight from Mexico City and Monterrey that goes into Phoenix. So we got some great connections. The Condor flight to Germany, that is currently on hold, but hopefully that will come back. So let me know if you guys have any other questions in regard to international. I'm here for you. Thank you.
do you have more questions for Mary?
I have one question.
Yes.
The IPW last year, I remember you were already pushing Route 66.
Mhm.
And there was a call out that you said about the longest stretch of Route 66. Could you repeat that again, just for our benefit as we're doing marketing?
Yes, Flagstaff has the longest and most intact stretch of Route 66 in Arizona.
So,
That is what the Arizona Office of Tourism, Ryan is shaking his head. Do you remember differently?
Yes, the longest continuous stretch of Route 66 is in Arizona. It's 158 miles and it's from Ashmore to the western border of California. So that's it's in our lookbook that we put together. So that's why it's labeled that 158-mile stretch. It's labeled, and I think that might encompass the Beagle Springs. Part
Yeah,
there.
And
We
it's-
have 14 miles in our
14
city.
miles. Okay.
Yeah, but like Albuquerque is 20 miles across, so Albuquerque has 20 miles of Route 66.
Right.
So
And from what I understand, it's the most intact stretch is in Arizona too, on Route 66.
yeah, that 158 miles on the western border is continuous. So that's the longest stretch from Chicago to LA where you don't have to get off.
Gotcha.
So you can drive 14 miles of it if you start out in Townsend, Winona, go all the way to our west end,
Uh-huh.
where it joins 40, that's approximately 14.2 miles.
Okay. And the next best would be Albuquerque, but that's not in Arizona.
Well, right,
Right,
we're
so we
talking
could-
points,
We're talking
you know,
points.
and who knows how much Los Angeles has, right, of
Right.
what formerly was Route 66 and still is drivable. So the longest drivable stretch is in Arizona, and we're definitely the best city near that stretch.
Okay,
That's how I presented to people.
cool. Okay, yeah, I think that stuff's really useful as we're probably all gonna be marketing around Route 66 and a lot of businesses, so
No.
I have it. Those are,
Gang, I have a quick question that's tangentially related to international. I'm trusting you guys can hear me okay. I'm curious if anyone knows offhand what flights go in and out of the Tucson airport for international connections like LA perchance or San
Did
Francisco.
you say Tucson?
Yeah,
none.
They don't have commercial service. This is Claire Harper from the Flagstaff Airport.
Evidently.
So we're the closest commercial service.
Okay.
So Tucson doesn't have commercial air service.
gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Yes. Okay, I think
Okay.
we're ready for
Thank you, Meg.
Jessica.
Perfect. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Jessica Young, Sales and Marketing Manager for Meetings and Events. First up on a good note for group market, and conferences and everything is still going strong. We're still receiving RFPs. Going into 2028 now is about as far out as I'm seeing, which is awesome that groups are back to looking ahead and looking ahead multiple years, which we do love to see after COVID. And you remember people were afraid to sign contracts for the next year. We're now just seeing that with government or grant funded groups, as everyone can understand. So those ones are coming in a little bit more last minute. So far, the first 2 months of this fiscal year, I have worked on and sent out 9 leads. 6 of these have already booked and contracted. So the numbers on the screen are the full amount of rooms, but out of the booked group, 761 room nights have been contracted for a total estimated economic impact of $227,539. Just a reminder that EEI number we create is just based on the about average spend of a conference or meetings attendee per overnight that they're here. So in this market, people tend to stay in their own room. We are incorporating, their banquet prices, breakfast, lunch, dinner on their own out. So we kind of encompass all of that to see what their impact is when they come into our community. So great number so far, and hopefully this continues on for the rest of this year and into next. We'd love to see it. For trade shows, conferences, and missions, it's been busy since the last time I presented. We did Destination West, which is a show for planners looking and sourcing the western half of the US. Meetings Today Live was held in Tucson. So I did attend that one. That one moves around the country, but it did have a great turnout of people more within the area and Tucson planners. So that was a good one to go to. Confab for Planners was a new show that we attended this year, and we just signed up for Dallas and Fort Worth. This is a one-day event
where the planners do have to come to every table and you get one-on-one time with them and they are specifically to that city. So this one was in Phoenix. And so it was specifically Phoenix event planners and meeting planners came to this event. And then those ones in Dallas and Fort Worth will be a great opportunity to get in front of those planners in those cities with that direct flight. And then Governor's Conference on Tourism with the team and some commissioners. And then the AZSAE annual getaway we hosted in Flagstaff last year. This year it was in Tucson. So I did attend that and it was awesome to see kind of everything we went to, every venue and a bunch of different meals. People were comparing to Flagstaff, or I wonder if it's going to be as good as Flagstaff. So we always love to hear that when we go on to another city. Tucson did a great job showcasing as well. But like I said, Flagstaff came up a lot. So we love that. And then the Arizona League of Cities Conference, Carrie and I attended and represented Flagstaff at our Flagstaff booth for that conference, which was a lot of fun. And then upcoming travel, small and boutique meetings is at the end of October. That show specifically targets planners that have 100 rooms on peak or less, meaning on their busiest night, they have 100 rooms or less, which allows them to fit into most of our properties, which we love, those smaller groups, and or looking for boutique, unique destinations and properties, which we fit as well. So that's been a great show. We attend the ones on the West Coast, which pull those West Coast planners that are more likely to book in our area. And then in December, Destination Southwest will be in Texas, and that is planners. They can be groups of different sizes, but they are sourcing the Southwestern states. So they're specifically looking at the Southwest for their specific RFPs that they have in order to attend. Next slide. All right, marketing and advertising. The article that you see here that has that red AZ on it is Convention Southwest Magazine. This was earned media. What was awesome is they did reach out to all the different cities and Flagstaff was up first, as you can see. It just happened to be how we fell. And if you can see in the black, I'll send the link out to everybody. So this is bigger. But up in that column, it's mostly kind of talking about the diverse landscape and Flagstaff and how different we are, which is pretty cool, and covered our area. So love earned media like that. And this is a national magazine. So it went out all over. And then we ran, or starting this month, we'll be doing a digital campaign that'll be starting pushing to our 10 Reasons to Meet in Flagstaff webpage. That we had a blog written for that. And then also there's a snippet here of, I think this one had 11 reasons to meet, but this was an e-blast that went out to all of the Arizona Society of Association Executives as part of one of our sponsorships. So just kind of playing on all those different tidbits and reasons and things to come to Flagstaff for. And next. All right, and then I just wanted to touch on with the group briefly, a reminder for conference services that I can offer. If you are working with a group coming into town, trying to bring a group here, I can set up their site visits. If they're already coming, we can provide welcomes, stickers, different items, the badge discount program, customized welcome flyer with QR codes that drive them to things specific to the group. So if we had a car club, it could be, hey, this is the drivable areas. These are the photo ops you want to go to, and that all drives back to our website as well. A new program that I'm working on with Claire, who was on, who just spoke with the airport, and then Jessica Johnson with our new Express Visitor Center, is we got approval to do welcome signage for conferences. So those can go up on the TV screens, welcoming groups on the days that they arrive for Flying Flagstaff, making it feel really special that they're flying in to attend a conference in our destination. So looking forward to getting that launched. And then I think that was it for the group within my notes. Just been busy planning our annual meeting. I hope you all can be there. It's going to be awesome. Any questions?
Hey, Jessica, do you have any question for Jessica?
All right, hand it over. Oh.
No, just kidding.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll be fast here.
I'm asking you to rush. Just
Yeah, I'm aware. Thank you. Brian Randazzo, Media Relations and Film Office. So in the month of August, for media assists, we had 9. That was even with August of 2024. Journalists hosted in August. We had 6 different guests for 5 FAMs. That compared with just 1 journalism FAM the prior year. We helped with 2 news releases. They were both important. Didn't issue any straight from our office. One of them is on ADOT. They are very close to finish with the flex lanes that have sort of impeded traffic from our main feeder market into Flagstaff. We wanted to make sure that Flagstaff was mentioned when they talk about flex lanes so that the resulting stories are not just like about traffic and asphalt. So we have a quote in there from Chris on the flex lanes being open. And actually, I'm sorry, the quote in that one is from the mayor, thanking ADOT for funding that project, finishing it on time, and, welcoming people back here once those are finished. They're extremely close. They emailed me yesterday and they apologize for not issuing the news release yet. I'm not sure exactly what they're still testing there, but I drove by it recently. It is like the top by Sunset Point is totally remediated. They used to have like a 3-story pile of rock and rubble that they were using for the shoulders and stuff. That's all gone. Flex lanes are usually open, at least going southbound. So pretty soon that'll get working. And then the other one we helped out with, I think was mentioned earlier, was with the Arizona Office of Tourism. They issued a news release. We made sure that we had a voice in that too. It was just reminding, and that one they issued nationally, reminding people that the South Rim is open and so are all the communities along the South Rim, and the awful fire on the North Rim, as tragic as it is, has not affected, Flagstaff, Williams, and the other communities. Total news stories generated, we had 203, that compared with 131 during the same month last year. I talked about this a bit last month. There's a couple of things going on there. I don't want to completely repeat myself from last month, but we have a new vendor that captures a little bit more. And we're just seeing a lot more like AI generated coverage. That no one really wrote the story, but it's the story about stargazing and the best places in the world to do it. Thankfully, we're included in all that. But that number, that 70 additional stories, that's this month I've been not taking credit for. So
We got leads on Google Ads from ChatGPT for Lowell that purchased tickets through ChatGPT.
Like revenue, we saw
For things to do in Flagstaff.
Yeah. And even Catalyst, Google Ads, people, they're like, we don't see this. We're
Yes,
not
true.
sure, like other places, they're not getting it from ChatGPT, and we're seeing revenue earned directly from ChatGPT.
well, that's good.
So, whoever's looking into things to do in Flagstaff, they're asking Chat.
So,
Yeah.
chiming in, Lori Pappas, Marketing and Media Relations, I have to say that there is a team at this table that is very, very deep into the LLM models. And I will be talking about that in the next couple of slides, but this doesn't just happen. We are, let's sweat and tears, get to that. Now, that being said, thank you. That being said, AI is still queen, not king to search. But that will change. And we are amping up, and it's not been easy. Like I said, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this. But AI is doing okay, but we're gonna do better.
I just want to be clear that that's not us issuing more news releases. It is good. It is positive because when these AI stories generate, they are citing our website. I'm not seeing problems in this coverage, like where they're misquoting Flagstaff or misdirecting. But right now we have a ton of them in there. It's like fall DPP. We're getting mentioned constantly.
And they're not linking to Phoenix. They're linking to the Flagstaff site, so that's great.
Yeah, and for our campaigns. Right?
That's great.
So for astrotourism, for stargazing, for DPP, for outdoor adventure, we're getting all places near national parks with good hotels, like all stuff we want to be included in.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Film permits, had a good month. We issued 2. They were both for commercials. One of them even came back twice, and they were filming for electric bikes in town. So that's key, kind of builds our reputation. They were able to get a permit the first time, and it worked out. They got and came back to us. And the other one was for Twin Arrows, and they wanted to film Flagstaff to include in a commercial for Twin Arrows. So nice of them to include us. And we assisted 2 film projects. Hopefully more news on those in the future. Next slide. These are some of the highlights. On the left side, the big picture, you see the Seattle Times. That was a journalist that we hosted last fall. Her name is Sage Scott. You probably heard me talk about her before. She's writing a series of stories about Route 66. She has included us in 10 of the 11 so far. That story was syndicated in 78 publications around the country. Seattle Times had the biggest circulation of all of them. So that was a fam that really paid off, because,
job.
you know, she's syndicated so many stories. We talked about the top right last month, but that is, when we got deemed the ugliest city hall in the state. And so,
One of the.
yeah.
You handled that interview so well.
Thank you. Very good. We just took the opportunity to talk about all the good things in Flagstaff, and the newscasters played along with that very well.
I love how you changed the narrative on that, redirected it to something positive.
They threw me a softball. They invited us back, and we were on there last week talking about the leaveometer. So it helps to build relationships with those guys, and even when they call about bad things. Wild topic. Bottom right, that is the Scottish Daily Sun. It's behind the paywall, but that was a nice story. We hosted that journalist back in May. He mentioned breweries and hotels and his fear of flying. He had to cancel his helicopter tour. So funny that got brought up earlier in today's meeting as well. Yes, I'm sorry. That is what you're looking at there. I'm sorry. That's a screenshot of the print product.
Gotcha,
Yes,
gotcha.
that's how it ran, and I could not get it on the online version of that.
Gotcha.
Yep. And that's Will Metcalf in the top right. That's his photo, where he had to confess of having to cancel his helicopter flight. Next slide. Okay, top left. This I do want to thank a PR firm called Flutter that is now working with Dark Sky Brewing. They actually landed a piece on Fox 10 for Made in Arizona, but to get the camera crews up here, you guys have heard me say this before, they usually want to do as much as they can with their entire day. So Flutter reached out to me and said, who can we put in front of the camera to like make sure products will come up, because they won't come up for just one. And so it's a manufacturing piece, and Chocolita is a local chocolate maker. And they ended up getting a nice feature from her. And then the rest of these are all influencers. The top right is a woman named Christina Barrueta, and she writes for all different culinary publications around Metro Phoenix. We got her to come up for the Snowball event last month. Bottom left is Tastes of AZ. The woman's name is Jennifer Baluch. She has more than 100,000 followers on her social media accounts. We got her to come up as well. That worked out really well. They highlighted their hotels, obviously Snowball, Shift Kitchen, and we got them to some other restaurants and attractions while they were in town as well. And then the bottom right, this slide was entirely for Heidi. Disappointed, I don't think she's on the call today because she's been hammering us to do more on TikTok. This was a paid influencer. Her name is Selma Explores. So she came out, we gave her an itinerary of restaurants and lesser known hikes. So she promoted our Flagstaff Trails Passport. And she did a series of Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok posts. And giving Heidi credit, the TikTok post that you're looking at with the nearly 5,000 likes was the most liked thing that she did. So Heidi was right.
Please note it in the minute.
Yeah. Next slide, please. So we have two FAMs coming up in October. One of them includes two journalists from Germany. We've already done some media coverage for Leafometer, so that should be taking off. And then some good news to share, and the Forest Service is sharing this publicly, so we need to get on it, is that every year the Forest Service cuts down a tree and they drive it across the country to the US Capitol, and they stop in different cities and people can see this tree. So it's a massive Christmas tree. It will be cut near Reno, Nevada, but they will stop in Flagstaff on November 7th. That's a Friday, and we get 2 hours to promote that to people far and wide. So I think our hope is that not only locals will have a chance to see the Christmas tree, but we can pull people from like Williams, Winslow, and that kind of thing into our city for the evening.
Where's it going in the Capitol?
It gets decorated on the Capitol lawn.
On the
And
lawn?
so when we see it, it'll be what they call a whistle stop. So they chop it down, they put it on a giant flatbed, and this is where the logistics comes in. It's such a big flatbed that it's really hard to get in different places. So we're still shopping around and talking to some partners about where that's going to be. So we can't announce that yet, but it's definitely coming to Flagstaff. And the event then is like 2 hours, and it can be, we can promote that and say, hey, the Capitol Christmas tree is going to be in Flagstaff. Come up here. Santa, Smokey the Bear, they'll bring Smokey the Bear, but we have to do the rest.
Okay.
So, we've got to, come up with all the other vendors and things that'll go around that. And it's still on the truck, but it's all lettered up inside, and then like kids can write messages, holiday messages, and,
They do this every year?
well, we don't get it every year. They do it every year, and then it's a different route to the capital. So I think they said next year it's going to Montana, so it's gonna go through like the Dakotas before it
Beautiful
gets to.
American tradition I'm just learning about.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Some, hopefully more to share on that. Well, definitely more to share on that, a month from now. So, if there's no question, I will pass it along.
Hi, Madam Vice Chair, Commissioners, Jessica Johnson, your Visitor Center Manager. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So similar to what we saw last month, we saw a slight decrease in our walk-ins compared to our August of last year. Next slide. And also similar to last month, even though we were seeing less foot traffic, we are still seeing an increase in our retail sales. So again, just goes back to the staff and how much work they put into that gift shop. We're seeing a lot of Route 66 items selling with people already excited about the centennial. So it's been a task for Lisa, that's our gift shop lead, to keep up on keeping all that in stock so that it's good. Next slide. And then looking ahead, what's happening at the visitor center events wise in the next few months. Next event is the Halloween Bash. So a small kids event with crafts and pumpkin contest, the costume contest. They can win a pumpkin. And then we'll launch the winter recreation hotline come December. We're doing the fire awareness hotline. It's still live now. We're just going to transition that into the winter rec hotline. And then we're going to bring back the Winter Wonderland horse-drawn carriage rides. That was hugely popular last year with people lining up outside the visitor center to do that. Looks like we are similar beginning of December through that end of Christmas break for the kids. And that'll be on the weekends from 1 to 4, but more details to come as we get a little closer to that one. That's all I have. Questions? Yeah.
Nice. Thanks, it's me, Sabrina Beard, marketing specialist for Discover Flagstaff. Let's go next slide. Acknowledging that we are coming up to our time here, I'm going to go over the fun highlights for my slides. We did have an increase in reach year over year for our Discover Flagstaff master campaign, and top clicks went to fall foliage drives, our festival sweepstakes, and fall events. Our runner-up was accommodations, which is always great to see. Next slide, please. Our Flagstaff local newsletter had a high open rate of 45%. We had a reach of about 1,400 folks, and our top clicks went to Rain's Kitchen, a new foodie segment for Flagstaff, the Festival of Science, and an update about fire awareness with our restrictions progressing from having some recent moisture. Next slide, please. Our festival sweepstakes numbers are down year over year. We've had quite a few conversations about our sweepstakes numbers being down at previous tourism commission meetings. Efforts have been made to add disclaimers, letting viewers and potential entrants know that information is going to stay private. However, we did not see a lot of benefit from that change. So we'll continue having conversations as to how to move forward for future sweepstakes. But we do see a good amount of entries coming from folks that are out of state. So people are interested in the hope and possibility of a somewhat discounted trip to Flagstaff, hopefully just inspiring that visitation anyway, regardless of winning or not. Next slide, please. Similarly, our Discover Flagstaff 66 things to do on Route 66 passport, going through and taking note of what our more popular check-ins were. August, it was the visitor center. Folks really want to go check out, hopefully start their visit at the visitor center, which we love. And I did see a long thread of folks that are from Michigan, a group of people visiting from Michigan that were checking into several stops. So that was really nice to see folks from out of state using it. There were also several folks from Pennsylvania and of course, Phoenix. Let's go to the next slide, please. Same thing for our Trails Passport. Now that the Bandwango has merged the passport in a way that the homepage shows both of our passports. So if people are on our Trails page and they sign up for our Trails Passport, once they're in that platform, that Bandwango platform, they'll see that we do have additional passports available. So I do see those same people are utilizing the opportunity to check into additional locations. So they're seeing our trails and our attractions and hotels and whatnot. Let's go to, oh, and then one last thing about the Trails Passport, apologies. For a very long time, our most popular trail was Buffalo Park, but more recently, August specifically, we saw that Kachina Trail, Nordic Village, and Hart Prairie were our most popular check-ins with a lot of folks from California. Okay, now I'll go next slide. Thank you. Also, just an update on website happenings. We are very grateful to have a very strategically chosen website provider who not only offer us the platform to have the Discover Flagstaff website, but they are the experts and they are constantly looking at our website and making sure if there's something that can be improved or added for SEO purposes. So one thing that they're always doing is they're optimizing our landing pages and blogs. This is just one example of many landing pages that were updated in August. An additional effort that Discover Flagstaff is doing just to continue competing with that AI and ranking on search is adding quotes. So this top pizza places in Flagstaff was optimized by Tempest, our website provider. We did add a quote to the page, a quote from Guy Fieri about that olives. And we did see a 23% increase to views for this blog year over year in August. That was nice to see. We'll go next slide, please. Here's a little list of some upcoming efforts that I will be making. A few things that were covered, annual meeting. We hope you can make it. We're wrapping up our festival sweepstakes. And of course, just going to finish promoting the rest of the festivals for this year. We have a couple more Channel 3 family lifestyle segments. We just had 2 of them recorded the other day, and we have 1 more for winter. All things email blasts, website updates, as always, continuing efforts on Route 66 Centennial event planning, and getting ready for our Winter Wonderland sweepstakes. That's what I have coming up, and I'll pass it over to Lori Pappas, unless anyone has any questions.
Let's not kid yourself. That's not all you have coming up. But that's a good idea.
It's all good stuff, so. Okay, thank you.
Sabrina, I do want to backtrack before I jump in. You had mentioned, I think you had mentioned Raid the Kitchen was a Flagstaff campaign. And that is a campaign that belongs to John Conley. Yes. So just want to make sure that we're clear on that. Yes. Okay. And if you all aren't familiar with that, please take a look at his YouTube channel.
Oh, it's fun.
Pretty impressive.
Lori,
Doing a great
just a
job.
second before you continue. I was just notified that, and thanks to Meg, congratulations to Michael Marquez and Mother Road. Mother Road Brewery has been selected as the official beer for American 250 campaign.
Wow. Yay.
That's great. Congratulations. All right. Jumping in, looking at some paid digital and some of our successes that we were able to rack up for the month of August. As grand as it gets, continues to be incredibly grand. Some stats behind that. We serve that as a prospecting ad as well as a retargeting ad. Incredible numbers. For prospecting, we had a 0.49 click-through rate. And then the retargeting, which generally is stronger, but this time I can't complain, but it had a 0.43 click-through rate. The classic car show, certainly getting some love with a 0.52 click-through rate. The third creative on the right is something that you are a little bit familiar with. This was served via a geofencing campaign. So along interstates I-17 and I-40. We did an A/B test changing out the creative from burgers and pizza. And this particular one looks like it's a sub sandwich. But I can share when we did the A/B testing, it was the burger that brought home the blue ribbon, but not by a lot, not by a big margin. The click-through rate on the burger was 0.32 versus a 0.29 on the pizza. That's it. We'll go to the next slide.
Which burger?
Out-of-home marketing continues to have some great success. On the left side, you'll see creative supporting the Chili Festival. On the right side, creative supporting Be Fire Aware. Do we have another meeting coming in here?
Yeah, I have 3.
Do we want to go ahead and conclude or?
No, we have this
We have
one
it
till
till
3, yeah.
Okay. Other creative for the festivals included Art in the Park and the Hobie Arts Cultural Festival, the International Film Festival, and the Mother Road Classic Show. Let's take a look at the next slide, which moves into our website. This is what I was mentioning as far as some of the things that we've been working incredibly hard on. Our engaged sessions. Phoenix, we saw an increase of 2%. Los Angeles and Las Vegas did have decreases. New York increased, Mesa increased, Tucson increased. So much of our drive market, that's not a surprise. Domestic is really doing some heavy lifting here, understanding what's happening with the international visitation. So working very, very hard. What was driving interest? Leafometer, and this isn't much of a detraction compared to last year because the leafometer did start to resonate in August as it is now. Dining and nightlife had some big wins as well. And Route 66. We had almost 4,000 outbound clicks to our partners. So really just shows the value of this real estate. Some of the big winners there were the Arboretum, the Orpheum, the National Monuments, and accommodations. I had mentioned that we are undergoing a shift to support generative engine optimization. And again, SEO isn't dead by any means. As a matter of fact, it is still the leader, but we do expect to see the pendulum swing quickly. So just for gravity, our large language or long language views for year over year, we had 665 versus 30. Is that really comparative though? AI really wasn't that strong last year. So then I took a look and typically I don't do this month over month because our seasonality is so different. But just to give you some traction as far as growth and some of the improvements, month over month, we had 665 views on AI versus July's 554.
And can you confirm, since you've been doing a deep dive into LLMs, that SEO is really the driver for most of that because of the keyword searches? Because that's what we've been doing as an SEO deep dive this year and putting in those keywords. So that's what LLMs use.
No.
To search, or is it
not the
other?
keywords? No, it's going to be long language. Sabrina shared quotes are meaning it. It's kind of going back to old English style.
Holding, okay, so they're not doing, they're not using searches, or they're using, like, what is the content?
It's a different search. I would go more on language. Next slide, engagement rate. We have a little bit of a win here, up 1%. which tells us that the content is resonating. Festivals and, next slide, please. Festivals and restaurants were really quite the winners. Festivals a little bit flat, but if we go to the next slide and we look at dining and nightlife, it is a big win. But you can see that we were down in the trenches. So April and May, things were okay. But again, leaning into the AI side, as well as SEO, we were having a little more strength. Next slide. Looking ahead, this is a little bit of peek of the creative. Next slide. So you guys are saying, what the heck is this? Well, let me tell you what this is. NAU's marching band will be a invited guest to the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. What you're looking at here is the front side of a fabric cover that's going to go over the tuba bells of the marching band. So we're pretty excited about this. So partnering with NAU and supporting them in this tactic, I guess is what I'll call it. Any idea on how many views the Macy's Day Parade gets through traditional TV and streaming?
Traditional?
What's the Macy's Day Parade?
So many.
So many.
So many. Millions. Everybody.
Millions.
Millions.
Every mother makes their child go downstairs and watch the
That's right.
31.5 million viewers.
Yeah.
31.5
million viewers. Yep. Next slide. You guys, I'm really going to go quick. Annual meeting. You all know where this is. Please make sure you RSVP through the process. It's super easy. Real quick, I'm going to talk super quick. Route 66 is being supported with a specially created play with Theatricos. FIFA doing a deep dive and seeing what we can do to have some messaging, not only pre-arrival, but perhaps post-arrival. Next week, Sabrina and I are very immersed into a new video series that we are creating. Two videos in the series. It'll have a comedic approach, working with multiple partners in that. And again, that production is next week, 4-day productions deal. Also, we're working on our winter FSI already. That'll be inserted in the Arizona Republic, December 7th, I believe. And that is going to be a roundup for me. I'm sorry, we did not get to social media. I feel like I'm like a rapid speaker right now.
Really well.
Yeah.
We've got an eager meeting at 3.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. Oh, and I just want to mention that the food manager certification 3 course, the last class is on September 29th. It's a full day class with the national exam with ServSafe. So there's still slots available. Please let me know if you need information about that. Yeah. And this meeting is adjourned.
Awesome. We have one missing that.
Herman.
Yeah.